Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Bro Media Podcast here. I'm here with Ryan and I'm Lazarus, your co founder of Bro Media. I am a guitarist, a fellow entrepreneur, crypto enthusiast, whatever. I'm just a normal Joe out there, but I feel like some type of opinion to everything, I guess.
Some type of way.
And yeah, so Ryan, go for it.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself.
What up, everybody? I'm Ryan. I am co-founder of Bro Media with my buddy Laz, and we're stoked, man. We're stoked to be doing this every week, um, catching you guys up on events, past events, our lives, our opinions about things that everybody's talking about, along with fads, crypto enthusiasts. In fact, I'm pretty excited to talk about that later because I was watching that was Ethereum was freaking out this week, which was fun
Definitely.
to watch.
Yeah.
Uh,
Crypto's
so yeah,
really good. Uh
crypto life is good. I'm glad that my friend Ben told me about it. Or not, I mean, I always known about it, but he showed me how to use the app, and I was
yeah,
like,
how to
yeah, it's
get in
not
there, make some
hard.
purchases and
Yeah,
manage it.
yeah. Start small. If you figure you're gonna eat lunch a couple times a week, when I take the boys out, which is every day, I'm spending 50, $60 just for sandwiches. So if you got $100 to throw into something and you let it ride, it's exciting because it's always moving, it's always dipping and diving and going up and down. But um, I recommend it. You can always just get rid of it. You don't want to use it, or you can learn. I learned you can get a wallet now, and you can put your actual crypto in a wallet, and you can pay for stuff. Like
Yep.
pretty cool, man. Like definitely. I'm glad someone took the time to tell me because it really wasn't that hard. And there's a few friends that are interested in learning are like, yeah, I just don't know where to begin. I'm like, dude, just download this app and I'll show you. It's
It's definitely a big world for sure. And
yeah,
it can be scary if you don't know what you're doing, especially because some of those websites are very janky and kind of like is it sketchy or not? But obviously there's some vetted ones
yeah.
that can be recommended for sure. But
Yeah.
heck yeah, man.
I follow like the big four, the Bitcoin,
Mm-hmm.
Ethereum, Dogecoin, and the other one, Shiba Inu.
Shiba. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, those are. It's funny that two of them are named after dogs.
I know.
Like one of the dog icon in it. But those would be like if those actually hit someday, it would be like
Life changing.
unreasonable. Like you can buy a hundred bucks would buy you 3.5 million shares of Shiba Inu.
Yep.
So if that actually converted to $1 a share, you
You
would
just, yeah, you'll
be
be, you could, it's life changing.
chilling,
Yeah.
chilling. Yeah.
Life changing for sure.
Well, and we not to bring up the painful past, as you know, that Bitcoin
Uh,
showed you its potential
yep.
in the early days. So like you don't really know, but if you can chill with $100 in there and just let it ride and watch it fall and watch it rise, it's pretty exciting. I started small too, and now I'm up, a couple thousand, and spread out and all over the place. I saw GameStop stock did the old skyrockety thing,
Yep.
and I jumped on that wagon. I'm like, oh, I'll do it.
Oh, I did that. I did that when it happened, what, year and a half, 2 years
First
ago?
time,
Yeah.
yeah, I did it, and then it immediately like
No,
just burned out.
that's the FOMO. So,
Yeah, I did. I was like, oh, I'm gonna jump on this train. I'll throw $100 at it, and then literally
yeah,
like flew by.
luckily I was on Reddit and I was really watching a lot of this stuff and I kind
Yeah,
of saw the the news happening before it skyrocketed and then I bought a few shares and I went straight stock. So I bought a few shares and I made a few $100 off of it. But
great.
I could have made a little bit more if they would if cuz they were pausing when you can sell it or not. So yeah,
Yeah,
they were shutting down, and that was a big issue with everybody. You know what I mean? Like,
that was on a certain app too, right? Because not all the apps did that.
I
I
mean,
think
honestly,
Coinbase didn't.
there's a lot of them that were doing it, and obviously, when it goes through the actual market, all apps can't really make the transaction. I mean, they shouldn't be
Yeah.
able to.
Well, it's
The
like a bank. If someone pulls
the
out all the money, then
the
they're
app that I have at the time that I used was Webull,
mm,
and um, I was seized from selling it at the higher price or whatever. But
right.
I still when it did get released, I was able to sell it and make a few $100 off of it,
That's good.
which
The
which
the
is fine because that was the plan, like try to catch the high, sell it and make a little bit of money.
yeah.
I wasn't gonna sit on it.
Yeah, I'm learning. I mean, it's at low risk. Realistically, it's low risk, right? Like you fill your gas tank up, it's probably $100. So if you look at it like that, and if you have a little extra money to throw at it, I'm not a rich, dude. I mean, I work hard. I'd like to say that I'm decently successful, but I've also been extremely broke in the process of learning how to be in business for myself. So I'm very conscious of what could happen. So yeah, I'm not a gambler. I definitely never been a casino guy. So this didn't feel that way to me. So if anyone's thinking about trying it, uh, I definitely don't. I'm a giver at the casino. If I do go, it's just literally giving my money away. I never win. I don't win. Um, my mom was an amazing winner, but didn't the apple fell too far from the tree on that. But with crypto, I was a little nervous to try, but I had to just say, hey, listen, could I lose $100 immediately? And I was like, it would be kind of a rush if I didn't. And I took a chance and I was like, hey, this is actually really stable. It's come maybe like first week I was down a couple bucks. And then the next week I was up like $20. And then it was down $5 from there. But it always tells you at the bottom where you're standing at. And you could always set your alerts to go, at fallen below this threshold. Now I'm going to sell it real quick. So you'll only lose like $10 versus, your $100. But it's a small investment. I recommend trying it. I feel like crypto is definitely a very powerful.
It's here to stay. It's not going
Yeah,
anywhere.
yeah. And to a lot of people, and even myself, I don't know how it gets there. It's ones and zeros, and it's extracted from wherever it's extracted from. Like tangible, I could hand you a $10 bill, and you're like, oh, cool, thanks. That's a $10 bill. But how did you get, you know, $3,500 for a share of crypto or whatever the price is, or Bitcoin, $68,000 for one Bitcoin? Uh, how does it get there? And that's the things that
I
I'm
mean,
learning about.
it's the power of the belief behind it. Like
Really?
that's where and the usage of it.
Mm,
So Bitcoin, it being the most popular one, definitely people trade and buy things with Bitcoin. Like that's actually a thing.
yeah.
Like I'm a video game enthusiast. So these some of these tournaments that are out there, they're like, oh, $50,000, $40,000 pot or whatever. A lot of it gets paid out
Mm,
in Bitcoin. And you mentioned this earlier. There's some tax advantages of trading between these platforms,
yeah.
or between these cryptocurrencies, is because you're avoiding the tax man. And honestly, I believe taxes is theft. I'm one of those, just
100%.
because
Yeah.
you get the company that earns the dollar gets taxed on it. You get taxed on it while it's income to you. You get taxed on it as you're
Mm,
spending it. So it's just a cycle of taxation that originally I believe it was to pay off. I believe World War One,
right.
and that's when it got implemented. So because we needed money to fund the war, fine, well, let's go to war, whatever. But just whenever you give a little leash, you let loose the leash to the government, they take a whole yard. You know what I
Oh, yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So
That's why and as you know, me, an avid Second Amendment guy, you can't
can't let
let somebody have
you can't give an inch. You
an
really
inch
can't.
because, yeah, there are bad people in the world, and there can be an argument about people that shouldn't have this, that, and the other. But there's also people that shouldn't have a lot of money, and they do that too. You can be just as damaging with any inanimate in any inanimate object as you
Mm-hmm.
want to make it up with. I get that human lives are precious and can be taken away with firearms, but um, like we talked about in one of our first podcasts, it's a problem of the heart and your motives and where are you at in your mind. Uh, for me, I want to protect and preserve life. Uh, I carry more life saving devices in my truck than firearms, which I do have full. Um, I have a long range rifle in my truck. I have handguns and then I body carry for my job. Um, and that sounds extreme, but I also carry tourniquets. I carry first aid kits of all levels, wound packing. You have a higher chance of saving a life than taking one. And definitely in conflict, I wouldn't want to have to take a life just so I could come home to my family or save, you know, save a child being stripped away from his mother or any of the crazy stuff that we see in the street because of my line of work um, that people just don't know unless they've been in the mix. And so, yeah, you you should always carry things to help people, right? And for me, like I want priority one to be safety. So, life safety devices. What do I have in my truck? First aid kits, um, IFAK kits, wound packing kits, um, a jump bag where I can jump out and help somebody that might have just crashed into a wall
Mm-hmm.
or somebody having a medical emergency on the side of the road. Like I am of the mindset of no one else is coming. Like I'm here, I can help you. If I know how to help you, I'm going to try because you're important to somebody. And if I have an opportunity to help, then I'm going to help. So yeah, back to the
No, no, no,
sanitary.
for sure, because it all ties in
I
because
want people to see that side of me too. Like, yeah, I'm a super gun dude, and I'm not ram it down your throat guy about it. But there's reasons why I believe in it, and there's also reasons why I also practice how to save a life because you're way more gonna have opportunities to help people.
oh yeah,
Walk around like trying to be a badass with firearms, like that is not the right mindset.
right.
You know, you will never see one on me. Um, but I am of that lifestyle. Um, so that's not for show. It's a tool.
Yeah, right.
And
But it
yeah,
ties together with the same thought of Second Amendment is
mhm,
a beautiful right that we have here in the United States
for sure.
because you can
Yeah.
preserve life, you can save life. There's a lot that goes with it. But as soon as you relinquish, going back to the taxes, we relinquish our ability to keep our money by paying taxes. You know, they say it's for the greater good, right?
Right.
Whatever. I don't believe that. Um, you'll never get that back.
Right.
So we're in the mindset is we let go of our gun rights. We're never going to get them back.
Hmm.
Just like we gave the government the right to tax us, they're not going to let go of that right.
Right. Right.
Like, what would they do, if us as people in the United States citizens, if we decided enough with taxation, we're done. What would the United States? They wouldn't be able to fund all these wars. They wouldn't be able to do kickbacks to all these companies that sponsor war or that benefit from it, like Boeing, Lockheed Martin. There's politicians that pockets get big because
Right.
of the endless cycle of one taxation of war and all that stuff. But yeah,
Hmm.
just to kind of so we don't get rambling too much into it. Um, Crypto's here to stay.
Oh yeah.
I think it's gonna get even better as time goes on, as people find more utilization for it. Companies and even people are gonna start using blockchain for things.
Big time. Well, I think this year specifically with how crypto has um, kind of taken leaps and bounds, and it's becoming more of a hot topic. you know, and people are choosing to kind of dabble in it. Like even me, like I'm like not like I said before, I'm not a casino guy. I'm not a gambler. I don't. I like to keep my money. I like
Yeah.
to stretch a dollar. You know, I do like flashy things. I do like to spend money on stuff, but I'm also of the mindset of, do I really need to do it, or is it just for, you know, whatever. So I like to hang on to what I have, but at the same time, like if I have an opportunity to make $100 turn into a couple few thousand, awesome, let's go. Like let's do it.
Yeah, I think
Sign
that
me up all day for that.
I think us like early adopters of it. Obviously, we missed the first wave of like
Oh
of wealth
yeah.
to make money of it. But
If I would have known back in 2010 that Bitcoin would have done what it did, like I mean, same with you.
Yep.
You know, not to stab you again,
No,
but
that's fine. That's fine.
I think about it a lot. Like, what if we don't know what we don't know, right? Like, we don't know what the future holds. We don't know.
But
You know, what
I
the
do
next World
believe
Series.
that this a begin. We're still in the beginning stages. It has not taken off to the degree where people still can go in there and literally diversify because there are so many different coins. XRP, like you mentioned, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu. There's literally a ton of cryptocurrency that exists out there for different purposes. If you it's funny because you can go to their website and figure out what their mission statement is. Is it information based? Is it banking based? Whatever the case is, there's going to be utility for all of these at one point in the future. And this is definitely a perfect time for people that want to plan for the future. Like you said, people have that extra disposable income that they can invest in and just do the long run. And I think that's a play here. Most people think that they can become crypto millionaires.
Yeah.
Sure, it's very possible. Chances are very low of you hitting the right cryptocurrency to, you know, become the next Bitcoin. But if you diversify, at least you might have a people might have a shot at it. You know,
Just
being.
remember, Wu Tang Financial. You got to diversify your loans.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best. You really do. Like my buddy Ben that showed me how to get into this. He was like, you know, sell sell high and buy it when it's low again, and you'll see what I mean by that. And I was like, well, why would I sell when it's high? I don't want to. What if it continues to go high? It was like he's like, well, that's the game. Like it's, and that's actually not even a rule I'm following. I thought about it. Like, what if I would have sold at the high level? Like, I think Ethereum was at 4,200, and
Mm-hmm.
then waited it crash down to like 2,800. I guess I would have profited from that, but at what cost? Like, I'm not really in it for that much money. But it's like, you know, it's a car payment. It's a now it's a house payment. You know, like it could turn into something more than that. When so that's cool, man. Like that's exciting, and I don't even know what I'm doing. So like that's what I was saying is like I am
Well,
3 months in.
there's different strategies that you can do. Like your friend's doing the high low strategy to buy low, sell high, and
Mhm.
then reinvest. You know his or whatever, do whatever what he wants with his profits. You
Right.
know, like my strategy, just because I bought Bitcoin back in the day, is I don't want to miss that skyrocket ever again. So my strategy is buying as much as I can, diversify it, and hopefully something in the future gets as maybe half high as Bitcoin, if
Yeah.
anything.
Well,
I'm okay with that.
I did follow. Gosh, now I can't think of the name of the place, but I'm following like a well known uh like blog for crypto. I can't
Hmm.
think of it. I'll have to look it up. But he or whoever was kind of like projecting what they feel Ethereum will be at in 5 years, right? So like it is kind of on the trajectory of being like the second big dog on campus next to Bitcoin. So
Right.
why not invest into that one if you have a couple extra bucks? Like why not? Just chuck it in there, and if you're feeling it, you know, when it's low, buy some more. And that's my strategy is like it goes up to like I think it's like 4,200 bucks right now or whatever it is, and it goes down. Buy when it's low and hang on to it when it's not. You know,
Right.
like and just watch it. And every morning I wake up, grab a coffee, I check it, and I was like,
Check
oh,
your
sweet.
investments.
Heck yeah. You know, look at me. I'm an adult. Like it took me 47 years. Check me out. You know? So that's where I'm learning. I really don't know what I'm doing, but I think that dumb luck is also pretty cool too. Like it's exciting. Um, if it started crashing and I pulled out at $150, I made $50 and it was exciting. You know, yeah, I could have had just like you could have had that amount of money. That would suck. But I mean, it's one of those things like you don't really know until you know. Like, so
Right.
if you would have left your investment in, I think that's where I'm at with it is leave your investment in, let it soak. You know, no Mormon, like let actually soak it. You know? So, like let it in there and just let it ride. And then if it's low and you got some extra coin, just buy some more of it. That's unofficial advice from a guy that's been doing crypto for 3 months. That's not professional advice.
Definitely.
But it's definitely working. And anybody wanted to, ask in the comments for guidance and stuff, I'm not affiliated or paid for any of these apps, but I use Robinhood. I have no affiliation with them. They don't pay me to talk about it. We're just two dudes in two different rooms doing a podcast. We're not trying
Definitely.
to be.
We're not financial experts at
We're
all.
not financial experts, but I use the app called Robinhood. It's very easy to use. It has dark mode, which also is nice. And they also have a wallet. So, like, you
God,
want to throw
there's
some money in there.
so I'm in different Facebook groups and in some Reddit groups and all that stuff. But man, if you get in those, they're very opinionated, and everybody has an opinion. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like,
Like
very.
the old saying,
Yeah, everybody.
they all stink.
Yeah. But Robinhood for sure gets some of the bad rap, and it's self-induced because of Robinhood. Has done a few.
Well, I've noticed the OGs. Not to interrupt you, I've noticed the OGs of Cryptcoin don't really like Robinhood.
Yeah, they don't
because of that buying and selling halt they put on people.
Yeah, the halting, and you technically don't own your coin or shares. So
I didn't know that part.
Yeah, it's all I forget how it is. Like they're the trustees of your purchase. So
okay.
you buy a share, they're the owners, but they're holding it for you. So that's
they're like the bookie.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. Huh.
So they hold the certificate, they hold it for you. I mean, you reap all the rewards and also all the losses.
So from someone that's dabbled in Bitcoin for as long as you have, like what app do you find to be the least problematic?
I've used Webull, and I actually like Webull. It's a little bit more complex. It can get a little bit more complex, but it's easy to use still. It's a nice app, and that's what I used. I moved away from Robinhood. I still have my Robinhood app, and I still have some investments in there that I've been holding on to. Just wait till you get into options. Have you gotten into options?
No, what's that?
That's a whole different conversation.
I know. Well, we started off our podcast with introductions, and we segued into here. We forgot a few things.
We did.
I've been waiting to talk about, and so we'll definitely I think we should revisit the podcast and come back to crypto stuff. Because I feel like people, one of my best friend, he's also like very tight with his investments and the things he decides to do. Which nobody that ever had money was just wilding out and making spending stuff. So I appreciate that, but he wants to learn too, and so it would be a good time to just do a podcast about our experiences about it because I think it's a hot topic.
It is because it's.
Speaking of, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna agree with you just because, I would want to say, not a lot of people use these Robinhood apps or investment apps just because they don't know, one, that they exist, or two, they just don't have the education to really dabble in it. And
well, it seems weird to take an American dollar that you've worked for and you put it into the internet and it turns into ones and zeros
Mm-hmm.
and it becomes something that's not like it's not tangible
It's not
and it's got like it's
risk,
just out there.
and it
It's
has
just
a lot of
where
risk.
where is it? And like what is the risk though? Is it a risk of losing a dollar? Is it a risk of you know what so like it's one of those things that you just have to try. And if you have some guidance, like I don't have much guidance. I have a friend that was like, "Hey, dude, I know this app. Let me show you how I do my things. I used to do day trading. Don't really mess with that anymore, but this is what I like crypto stuff. So let me show you that." And it was a phone conversation, 5 minutes, and I was rocking, you know. And so that to me was like, that's really what it comes down to is just helping each other figure it out. If you lose $100 and you shouldn't have been spending your $100, and that's a bad decision. But you're gonna spend that money somewhere. You're gonna put it in your tank. You're gonna buy lunch. You're gonna eat. You're gonna buy groceries. Like $100 by today's standards is not a lot of money. I remember when I was a kid, my brother laid like $20 on me one time, and I was, man,
Remember those days when we were kids?
yeah,
You can go to Circle K. You can
yeah,
like buy all the junk food you want. You can go across the street to a Wendy's, buy yourself a nice meal, go back home, and still have
yeah.
money in your pocket.
Like you know how many skee ball games I can play with this 20
Yeah,
bucks does? You know what I
yeah.
mean? Yeah, so it's it's one of those things like as we get older and as we see we start sounding like our parents did. I remember when I could buy a tank of gas for 4 cents. It's just life changes, and so it's not. We all make more money. We all work harder. We all kind of uh, try to not work ourselves into an early grave, but I mean that is the pace of life. That's the pace of America. We work really hard, and speaking of that, like I know we were supposed to talk about highs and lows first, but it was my fault. I
No, you're good, man.
started talking about, I was like, I want to talk about this, and let's just do it now. I guess that's part of,
Yeah,
uh,
this is about the unscripted side of things, but
yeah.
yeah, let's do highs and lows. Let's reconnect there. So I'll give you my high of
Oh
the
man, I gotta interrupt you. I'm really looking forward to this part for you, man.
all right. So my high for the last 2 weeks, because we didn't record last week. I've been losing weight because my friend here, Ryan, supplied me with semi-glutide.
Look at this handsome guy. See his face.
So I'm about, and I'll round up here. I'm about 8 pounds lighter. These are injections that you give on your arm. I've done 2 injections by Ryan here. He helped me out. He works down the street, so he stopped by and injected me. But
Sounds like it.
but this semi-glutide, what it's done to me is obviously the burning the fat, because I can literally feel it in when I'm wearing my clothes.
You can see
Um,
it.
my
Yeah.
my wife and daughter has mentioned it, that my face looks slimmer, and I still got a long ways to go, but they're very self-esteem boosters, like, for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm putting on my clothes and there's like room, like
Dude,
I,
it's just beginning. It's 2 weeks.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what I was so excited. I'm like, just keep rocking it, man.
And it has suppressed my appetite, which is fine because, as a normal guy, I like to eat and
Right.
overeat. And like we'll go to a restaurant. Like yesterday we went out to dinner with a family,
Mhm.
and I ordered a turkey club. Try to make healthier decisions too, as I'm going through this journey.
Mhm.
But they gave you 4 sections of the turkey club. I only ate one.
Yeah, it's like your eyes want it, but you're like, I'm
Oh
good.
yeah, yeah. You said that the right way. So like, what else? We ordered food the other day too, and it was this, that, and we had maybe 3 or 4 things. Oh, we went to eat Chinese food. That's what it was. We went to eat
Nice.
Chinese food with the family. So yeah, you get your fried rice, your chicken and broccoli and everything. I literally grabbed a few things and I didn't even finish my plate.
Yeah. Yeah. The,
And
the the boys the boys are giving me a hard time. Like, you sure you want to order a full size sandwich? And I was like, shut up, I'm gonna buy it. I bought a sandwich, and I'm like, damn, I should have listened to him. I could have only ate a half sandwich.
and I feel full. I feel satisfied.
Yeah.
I don't feel deprived. And maybe that's just my mentality as I'm working through this also. But
The
I
beauty of it is the peptides keeps your sugars like level, and so it slows down the way your body processes the food. So like you're still getting all the nutrients that your body needs to continue on. Um, but we're programmed to just blast. I eat fast. I eat a lot. I eat till I hate myself, and I'm like, oh God, I should have known 10 minutes ago I was full. My brain just didn't tell me I was full. Now I'm miserable, bloated. My clothes don't fit. Yeah, so no, that's why that's happening. Is like that's literally the magic dust, you know.
and I believe it just because I'll eat. My body's telling me, all right, you're good.
Mm,
And me mentally is like, okay, I'm good. I'll just box up the rest and I'll have it for lunch tomorrow
yeah,
or something like that. And
dude, I was so happy to hear that and I would check on you every day. I'm like, are you feeling good? Because my experience was I did too much for my size, and I didn't know. I just read the blanketed instructions of like the instructions everybody gets, not tailored instructions at all. I probably should have started at like 5 units or 10 units, but it said 20. So that was our last podcast we did together. You're like, yeah, come over and do that 20. You're slightly bigger than I am, so like you sailed right through it. You were just like, yeah, I'm living life. I feel good. Actually, I actually have energy. Like from the jump, you every day I check on you. Like, I'm down another pound. I'm down another
like,
pound.
and I will say this, I did feel a shift in my body, but it wasn't like I didn't have headaches. I obviously I didn't feel like I was myself just because the whatever the chemical is or whatever, and
Yeah,
the change happening to me, and especially when I was eating, definitely not overeating anymore, and that's part of it too.
right.
So I definitely felt the change, but it wasn't where I was restless or anything like that. The one the one side effect that I can definitely say is constipation is a thing with this.
Yeah,
Um
it's like constipation, and then the floodgates are just like wide open for a few
yeah,
days.
cuz I normally what I have my schedule obviously in the morning, then in the afternoon, and then in the evening. That's my normal schedule. Definitely nothing in the morning, maybe in the afternoon, but for sure in the evening. Once kind of like towards the end of the day, like I would have some type of bowel movement. It's weird talking about this stuff that it's gonna
Good,
go
but
on.
it's normal.
It's gonna go on the internet, but whatever.
You know what, man? We should normalize poop talk, man. We've been talking and goo giggling about farting and pooping our whole lives. Everybody does it,
but
you know. Maybe my wife. I don't think she
maybe,
pooped
but I am gonna
22 years.
I am gonna take a laxative just to kind of help my stomach and everything and everything just to kind of like if there is any blockage or anything like that, just to kind of like let it go. But I
Yeah.
did have a day or two, like you mentioned, like after a week after the shot, where the floodgates were just
Yeah.
like,
Dude, what was crazy about it for me is like I was feeling nauseous and really terrible. But at the same time, every day I would get on the scale or I'd walk by the mirror and I was like, man, I have struggled with body image my whole life. And I know like I'm sitting here now in a shirt that I've been wanting to wear. One of my favorite uh, companies or a veteran owned company. One of my favorite shirts. Like you will usually see me in this shirt when I could wear it. And if I wore it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, it would have looked like I'm wearing someone else's shirt that didn't fit me. It would just felt weird. I would have been bulging and it didn't. So like everyone struggles with body image at some point. I think um, they might be comfortable being shirtless or naked with their partner or whatever, but at at the end of the day, like you wouldn't want to sit in front of a mirror and eat. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those things for psychologically
yeah.
we're programmed to have a different we have a we're our worst critics, you know,
Hmm.
where your loved ones see you and they just love you. They don't care really what you look like. They love you for who you are as an individual. But when you're struggling, you're not able to feel your best. And and that's like the beauty thing that even though I struggled for me for semaglutide for the Ozempic shot, I am glad I did it because my weight is still stable. I'm still exactly where I wanted to be weight wise. I'm wearing the shirts that I thought I was never going to wear again, even though I almost threw them away. Honestly, I was getting really frustrated because as I get older, my metabolism was starting to suck. Um, even though I'm active and right now I've got 17,000 steps on my watch from today, which is normal. And so I was still gaining weight. And so for me, it worked. Like it worked. And so that's why when you were like, I'll try it, I was like, sweet, let's do this. And it's working. And when you're looking handsome, your skin's looking great, your shirts are wrinkled. That's
Yep,
awesome. You're gonna have
definitely
to
got
buy
some.
shirts. Like,
Well,
look at
if
you, dude.
anything,
Like,
I'm gonna reuse shirts that have been in my closet for a while that I haven't really been able to wear.
you know what I hope to do one of these days, because I know we're being consistent with our podcast. I hope that we can come back to this podcast or the one before, and you put on the same shirt that you have on. Save that shirt, save the one from last time, and come out and rock that shirt in like 6 months from now, and let's see how that shirt looks on you. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And and then have your normal clothes. I think you're really gonna feel and see those things. Not everybody has. I don't have a show body. Like I don't have a. If I took my shirt off right now, I would be extremely vulnerable and I would feel extremely self conscious. And it's not really from the waist, from here up. It's more of my midsection, right? Like I don't feel comfortable in my skin there, and it's always been an issue, even as a child. So this shot for me, even though you might look at me and go, "Oh, why would you do that?" She's like, I felt self conscious, and then I'm also normalizing sensitivity for dudes. Like I don't, I'm an emotional guy. Like I don't have that. I can be type A. That doesn't really work on all situations.
Right.
Like this is just two dudes, BSing about real stuff, and so it's normal to feel insecure. It's normal to feel inadequate. It's normal to. And I think that's why people get so screwed up about how they feel about themselves, as they look to pornography and they look to what everybody else looks like. And I'm like, man, why am I lacking so hard in these
Yeah.
categories? And I'm never going to get there. No one's ever going to look at me that way. And you do this small little thing for yourself. You invest in yourself, and it's minimal. It's minimal, right? Like, and you start seeing the benefits of how you feel about yourself. It's really not what you get from loved ones, which is a nice thing for your family to say, "Hey, you're looking good, lad." Or you like your skin's
Yeah, and
looking
it, and
nice.
it, it felt good, especially when my daughter came out to me. She's like, "Dad, you look
Yeah,
your face looks definitely slimmer." And
for
I was
sure.
like, that for my daughter to notice that meant a lot too. And then my wife, mentioned the same thing. So
Mhm.
headed
Well, that
down the
tells you our families, they study us, right? Like
yeah.
you're the leader of the pack, and so um, sometimes you need a little bit of help to get through a stump or a hump
So
in our life.
so the one thing that I'm gonna do that's different next week, because man, and then this will go to my low of basically 2 weeks, is just a lot going on in our family. A lot of events, graduations. My son turned 4, so we hosted 2 parties, one for his little friends, and one for just a family thing.
Yeah,
And the reason why we didn't record last week is because I had to fly out for work, and work got really busy towards the end of the week, so I didn't have a actual opportunity to actually go to the gym and add that regiment on top of the semi-glutide here that you gave me. And so next week, that's what I'm gonna do different. I'm gonna especially because I don't have to drop off kids because my daughter just got out of school for the
yeah,
summer. So, and now it's just literally going to be kind of putting me first a little bit, not having
sure.
to worry about taking kids to school or anything like that, getting them ready. Not that I do much because my daughter does a lot of the stuff on her own,
Yeah,
but now just go to the gym, wake up earlier than I'm used to, go to the gym, lift some weights because that's what burns fat.
Great, man. Oh,
Um,
diesel on the gas fire already. You know, that's every time I work out, I'm like, I hate doing this, but I'll do it.
yeah.
And you literally see the results. Like you have the up down BA select start going in your body right now. You have the cheat code. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's the beauty of it was like, and I reminded you today, I'm like, don't forget to do your shot because I didn't come over today because I was working, but just keep it going because man, like it's just it's so freaking motivating to see like when your friends are winning. And I heard something. In fact, I thought about this earlier. I heard something today. Like I will always cheer for you. You're my dearest. Like you're a dear friend of mine. Like friendships are super rare, real ones. Anybody can be a friend, but um, when you see your friends winning and you see the expressions on their faces when they feel good about themselves, when they talk about their families, when I see that you light up as your friend, like and where we talk about music, you light up. When we talk about your family, you light up. You talk about how you feel about yourself. Now you're starting to light up, and so like it's more of like, man, I cheer for you. Sorry, I almost cussed. I'm cheering for you so hard. Sorry, I get emotional. I cheer for my friends, and I cheer for the people I care about. Um, because it's not a transactional thing. I won't be your friend if it's based on you giving me something back. Um, I don't want that. I want to just be supportive because that's what life is about, right? Like I have a family, I have a business, a couple businesses, I have things going on, and if we don't get to talk, I have a lot of friends I didn't catch up with this week, like on online and whatever. Like I've been smoked. I've been so busy, but those people understand. They're real friends, and so um, I have so much to tell you. Like I bought a new truck 2 days ago. I traded my old truck. Like,
Right
dude,
on.
I did it on the way home from work. It was like, oh, you got a lower interest rate? Well, how about I just give you my old truck? And, that's a whole nother podcast. So, um, anyways, like a lot's been going on, but like cheer for your friends, cheer for your friends that have businesses, cheer for the people that there's a saying, cheer for the people that you would cheer for on the internet, like
Mm-hmm.
they're your real friends,
Right.
like because that's what matters, people checking on each other. It's a lost art, man. Um, so, anyways, like to see you excited, to see you get pumped about the future, it's not because you're lazy, because you're not happy with the way you feel about yourself. It's not because you're not trying. It's not because you just sit around eating until like Jabba the Hutt. We're all wired differently, and we all need help sometimes. And having friendship and support is a huge part of that. So to see like this transition and even in the way you feel, like I check on you, oh, I got good energy, man. I'm tired because I got all this going on, dude. That's great, man. Like do your thing, bro. I'll catch you I'll catch you at the podcast.
No, for
And I
sure.
hadn't seen you. I was looking forward to it. I'm like, what's he gonna look like? As soon as I
No,
saw you on camera, I was like, oh crap, I
so
gotta check
definitely
him
big
out.
thanks to you and Carrie. Obviously, you guys went down the rabbit hole first, so
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah,
you guys.
dude. I mean, my business is ran the same way. I won't sell you something for your home or your business if I haven't tried it out. And so I guess I couldn't make a recommendation to you if I hadn't tried it out. But also my recommendation was like doomed. Like I was like, bro, I was sick. Like I was nauseous. I was not in a good place. It was terrible. And you were like, sign me up. You know what I mean?
It's
So
like the worst thing
I
that
was like,
can happen
okay.
is I'll throw up, but
Yeah.
whatever.
That is literally, and honestly, here's the thing, ladies, men don't be, men are not cut to be sick. Like the worst thing that did happen to me was I threw up one time. But I was a baby the rest of the week. Like I really did not feel well. I was down, but I also don't get sick. So, I know that ladies go through all kinds of stuff monthly, um, hormone stuff, imbalances, ups and downs, and all of the things. And like, those are the real G's. Like females, like, dude, they don't mess like they go through some stuff,
Hmm.
most of the time quietly. So if your girl is ever yelling at you, you have no idea what she's probably had to deal with in her normal day. versus us being constipated once in a
Man, I can
while.
tell you stories about, my wife's a champ, especially when it came down to giving birth, and in those moments, you hear the stories where, or even in movies, it's stereotyped that women are just like shouting and screaming and
100%.
and
Women, I will
but
admit,
my
those are
wife
tough.
was well, my wife was a champ. Like for all, we had two miscarriages, even through those moments, that was tough, but she was definitely strong. But giving birth to our three beautiful children, man,
That's what's up.
like she was definitely like a champion there, man. But yeah, just what's your highs and lows, man? I know it's been about two,
Oh,
two
dude.
weeks,
Well, first of
so what's
all,
the updates?
sorry to hear about the miscarriages, man. That's a tough. That's tough, man.
I mean, and it's common and it's not talked about a lot too. So there's
Well,
a,
and
a
for
stig.
most people too, like they don't. There's a lot of people that just have kids and they don't want kids. A little something about me, like my wife and I, we tried to have a kid for 4 years, 5 years, 4 years, um, and did in vitro 4 times. And if anyone's researched in vitro, it's extremely expensive.
Yep, we almost went down that road. Yep,
Yeah, we
but
started in 2000 and we got married in 2002. We started wanting to create a family in like 2006. And so we were like, what's going on? I got checked. All my swimmers were good. She was checked. All her stuff was fine. Just wasn't happening. And so we were looking at, researching how can we make this happen. So there's this thing called in vitro where they basically take everything down, they do the things, they put it back in there, they push the popcorn button in the microwave, and you would wait. And so you do that over time, and it can add up. It can get really expensive. So
right,
uh, on the fourth try, basically out of options, out of eggs, out of all financially, out of everything. Um, and we put 3 fertilized eggs back, and one of them took. So, you know, got a 15-year-old kiddo in there, and we're super thankful for
yeah,
that. So, I mean, honestly, I understand the struggle. So to hear that,
no, for sure.
I didn't want to skip over it and get into my highs and lows. I wanted to
No, no, for sure.
really
Just
definitely understand the struggle, wanting to have a family. Um, and then obviously, I actually did have a son. I think we talked about this. Um, that popped up just about a year and a half ago, who's 27 now, but I didn't know about until a year and a half ago. So I had a son all along. That's another podcast. So I have 2 kids. But so, anyways, my highs and lows to segue back into that. Uh, man, honestly, I have had a horrible week uh, with work stuff. Just been absolutely smoked, just buried over. Long days, dumpster fires, everything's going wrong. We're supposed to be done with our project tomorrow. Uh, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, but it's just not going to happen. Like it's not going to happen. Um, there's too many gremlins, this job over the one over by your house is just honestly, like literally, I think this building was built on an Indian burial ground. I'm pretty sure they're not happy about it, and now it's a distribution warehouse. Um, we have card access going in, and we have cameras going in, and we have their alarm system. Actually, got the alarm. So I guess there's some mid high. I got the alarm uh, covered. It's done. But I've been struggling all day with the other stuff.
right,
That's been my low. Really, just I've kind of lost touch with everyone this week. Kind of been very much just drawn into family and work, and got a new truck. I guess that's a high. Um, it's the same truck. I'm a Tundra guy. I had a 2023. I bought it with 30 miles on it, the 23, but it was technically used. Someone bought it and drove it back, so they sold it to me at a used price, but also a used car gets a higher interest rate. So
right.
I traded my older Tundra in for it, and then I got I drove it for a year, just bought tags for it. Had no intentions of buying a new truck. I was on my way home from work. Uh, Guy that goes by the name of Kiwi. He's been my car sales guy forever. Buy all my vehicles from him in Avondale, Toyota, and great dude. No funny business, just a really genuine dude. Uh, from New Zealand, that's why he goes by Kiwi.
Gotcha.
Fluent in Cantonese, Cantonese, Chinese,
Yep.
Mandarin. Sorry,
Mandarin,
Mandarin.
Cantonese. I think that
Yeah, he was a
different
teacher.
dialects, I think.
Yeah, great dude. Anyways, I he calls me every now and then to say hi. He's a relationship guy like me, so like I love that. You know, he calls me with no intentions of anything other than just to see how I've been, which I also like. You know, if you hit me up randomly, that's so cool. You know, that feels good. You know, hey, you thinking about me? That's weird. I know how life can be so busy, so thanks for that. And and so we started talking about the new trucks coming out, and I kind of wish that my Tundra that I bought had some more frills on it. It doesn't have the blind spot monitors. It's not the higher end one. It's like just an entry level. But I put really good suspension on it, and I made it, I made it look like a pro or whatever.
Yeah,
So
nice looking truck from last time I
yeah,
saw it.
yeah, he's like, dude, you know the new Toyota incentives right now going on. There's like 1.9% interest rate, so you could technically get into a truck that you wanted with all the bells and whistles, and it would be cheaper. And I was like, what? Can you make it happen tonight? Joking. He's like, yeah, come on through. I pulled up. We I saw a platinum series and was like, let's do it. Let me take the suspension off this truck, my old gray truck, and put it on this truck, and I'll bring it back to you on Saturday. He's like, deal. So literally, like through the night, I've been like through that. That happened a couple days ago. So that was a high. Uh, so that's kind of fun.
Yeah,
I'm
getting a
glad
new
to have.
car is
I'm glad to
always
have.
good. It's
I live in my
exciting.
dream.
Yeah.
It was it was fun. It's fun to like drive the highest version that they make versus like the kind of like the entry level one. But honestly, like over time, I'm saving money because of the interest rate. I think the used car a year ago prime was like 8%.
Jeez.
You know,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. And that was like really good for a used car. Even though it had 30 miles on it, they still sold it to me as a used car. They had to certify it out to 100K.
Yeah.
So 1.9 is way different, way
Oh
better.
yeah. Heck yeah.
Most of your money is going into principal. So like it made a big difference. So no brainer. That's happening. Um, Other high was hearing about you, man, hearing about your busyness, hearing about your health, hearing about the way you feel, seeing you on camera. It's been
Yeah. Look.
a minute, like that's really cool, man. Like I'm super cheering for this. It's gonna be cool to have it. We have a podcast. We can document like the progression as
Yep.
weeks go
We
on.
sure are documenting here. So
So,
I'm
thanks.
gonna go look at the 2 weeks ago, see how my face looked.
I want to too, man. I want to pull that up.
Do
I'm
a
gonna do it
side by
on
side.
chat. I'm gonna do it on this other screen right here. But yeah, no, that I've had a really strange week, man. Like it really hasn't been terribly low, but just stressful,
No, I
just
feel you. That's how my week was when I had to fly out, and I just got hit with out of nowhere. My team told me, "Hey, can you go to Sacramento?" And then I got voluntold, "You need to go to Sacramento."
yeah,
And I was like, "Okay." I booked a ticket, got there the night before I actually had an event, and kicked
yeah.
it there for Friday, and then flew. I tried to fly out. Um, Mid evening on Friday, but something happened where my flight got delayed almost 3 hours, so I didn't get back in and home till like
Oh, tell me about that.
1 o'clock in
Right.
the morning. So all the flights to Phoenix were jammed. All the flights to North Carolina were jammed because I was talking with some folks out there. And then we were watching stuff was popping up in the news that there was like just delays and things of that nature. I don't know. I didn't make so much of a fuss about it just because one, it was just me traveling solo. It would have been different if I had kids or something like that with me.
Yeah.
Definitely would have been a little bit more upset.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Solo mode's easier to deal with.
And
Yeah,
it's
thumbs down.
literally my first time ever experiencing a delay. So
Oh, really?
Yeah, out of all my years, traveling, flying or anything like that, I've never experienced a delay. So maybe that's why I didn't even uh get upset or anything like that.
Yeah.
There,
That is for work. If it's like for an event or a party or a wedding or something and you get delayed, that's so stressful, man.
yeah, I bet.
I got stuck one time too, that I can remember, and it was in Chicago Midway Airport,
Mm-hmm.
and they couldn't get us on the next flight, and we were trying to get to New York for a wedding. I was young. I was probably was before my I say BC, it was before Carrie. Um, yeah, I was probably 20, 22 maybe, and I was like, I have to get here. I'm like in the wedding. And they're like, yeah, sorry, we can't get you on this plane. It got overbooked. And I put $100 bill. So it's probably 2000. So I was 24, 2000. So I was,
Trying to get a little favor.
I was trying to think of like the concept of the money, but I put like $100 bill, which probably would have been about $500 now into my folded ticket binder thing. And I was like, are you sure you can't get me on this plane? And she took my thing again, all annoyed, and opened it and saw the $100 bill. She handed it back to me, and $100 bill was gone. She's like, "Yeah, I have a seat for you right now." And I was like, "Thanks." So, like, that was me not accepting no for an answer. And I was like, "Clearly, you can make something happen. I have a wedding to be in New York." And I was a young kid, so that was more of like the thinking outside the box of like, "Are you
Right,
sure?" But
right.
I was a little nervous, like, dude, I need to get there, and I need
I,
to make it happen.
I mean, I had an experience like that, and that was like towards the end of COVID. Um, my friend decided that he wanted to get married in Mexico, and
Mm.
because the his wife's family's out there, so they wanted to go and celebrate to this beautiful town and everything. They had the beautiful church and all that, but my situation was I couldn't. My passport was expiring, and the way it works is you can't even request a renewal until yours basically expires.
Really?
So they had their wedding, the original date. I believe it was, let's just say July. But then they ended up moving their wedding date to October because of like COVID restrictions and all this stuff. I would have been fine for July, but it made it for hard for me to even book an air flight, try to get out there. Basically, I missed my friend's wedding
Mm.
because in order for me to renew my passport, I could either go to, I believe it was New York or Texas, to one of the immigrate or not immigration, but I forget the passport offices what they're called, the Secretary of State or whatever they're called
Yeah. Yeah.
offices. And I'm like, in this day and age, why is it this hard? Especially when you already have your passport. All you have to do is just like get it reprinted or whatever. I get it
Yeah.
if it's like, you've never gotten a passport before, you have to go through all the vetting and all that stuff.
Mhm.
But why would I have to go all the way to New York to get this thing renewed? It was so frustrating. But I ended up missing my friend's wedding. Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, it sucked. But ah, traveling, man.
Yeah.
It sounds glamorous, but
I don't like travel.
it's rough, especially if like you get delays or the airplane's small.
I have
All those
that
little things just
philosophy.
add up.
I have that philosophy is like, if I'm going to go see a concert, I'm going to get the best seats. I don't care about the pit unless that's the best seats. Uh, I was a musician for my whole life, so I'm used to seeing things from the stage point of view. So
Yeah.
those are to me that was the best view, and I
Mhm.
can't get that best view anymore. Maybe I can if we ever decide to make music
Yep.
together. But like if I'm gonna spend the money to go out, then
You're gonna get the
do it
comfort.
do it right. Yeah, do it right. Make it splurge on yourself. Enjoy it. Don't. Why would you go watch a jumbotron at the top of the stadium for $10 when you could have watched? You'll be able to see it of some bootleg on some like weird app, in
Yep.
person to some guy sitting in the first row. If you're gonna go do it. Go do it right. If you're gonna travel right. Go take a good airline that's not probably gonna lose your luggage. Take an airline that's reputable, that's not made fun of, that's not the Walmart of the skies.
Right.
Like go and do it right so that you're not stressing yourself out. And if you don't do it right, then you can't really be mad at yourself if you're having issues with you cheaped out. Like you didn't fly like a very reputable place. And that comes down to being in business for yourself, comes down to friendships, comes down to the company you keep. Do it right or just don't do it,
Right.
because you're gonna hang with the wrong people, you're gonna have bad relationships. So anyways, yeah, that kind of came full circle to the whole thing of like, if you're gonna do it, man, do it right.
Yeah.
And invest in yourself. So
Well, I
yeah,
think that
buddy.
puts us at time there exactly at the 60-minute mark.
Always flies
Uh,
by.
I think I hope people get something out of this because I think especially for myself, speaking about weight, and it's something that I never usually talk about, but I know weight and fitness is a hot topic in the world, and two normal guys, two different bodies, two different experiences with the semi-glutide slash Ozempic medicine. Maybe somebody here would connect, and if you guys have questions, feel free to put it down in the comments. We're more than happy to share
Yeah.
our experiences here. Open book of what maybe we didn't talk about a certain aspect of it or whatever. Feel free to put it down there. But again, just thank you for jumping on and thank you for watching the channel. This is something that we decided to do to document our conversations because we always have a great conversation, and that's why we created Bro Media. Yeah, we haven't talked. There's a million topics that we can talk about, but this is
Uh,
totally unscripted,
yeah.
and it's very natural. We don't feel forced of talking about a certain thing or whatever.
We have to
Maybe
force ourselves to stop at an hour because we
yeah,
just
yeah. So that's the one thing that we do. We do try to keep it at a 60-minute time frame just because, we have families and outside of this and we have to, do our duties out there also. But thank you so much. Please give us a subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button for us. It's free. It engages us. It hopefully spreads the word around the world that Bro Media is here to talk about everything. Ryan?
definitely. My kind of the focus of lessons learned is that you know never underestimate the power of a kind word and showing somebody what's going on in your head. Being kind for no reason is something we talk about quite a bit. And I really believe if you want to continue to feel blessed in your life, you need to pay that forward. You need to show people that you care about them. You need to say those words. You need to keep those good circles of friends and hold those in a different place because they're important. Friendships are super important. Good ones are. And if you're wondering if you're in one, you're probably not because you just know, you know. and it just when you find your people, you find your people. So, Laz, I'm super thankful for your friendship as
Same.
always. Um, I'm super thankful we're doing this together. It's always fun. It's always a highlight, no matter what my week's like. Coming here, chop it up, have a drink, have a
This
laugh, tell stories.
cigar
Um,
talk right here for sure.
yeah, so this is the way. This is the 2024 ways of having driveway beers.
Mm-hmm.
Carport beers. Um, so it's that's something I always look forward to, man. And dude, you're looking so handsome.
Hey,
It's
thanks,
good to
man.
see. It's good to see the smile on your face. I have over here. I have our screen up from podcast past, and I can literally see it in your face. You look more tired here, and you look a little bit. I could see it in the roundness of your face. And I look back at the screen, and you're shrinking, man. 2 weeks into it, and it's so cool to see, man. So
Thank you.
like,
Thank you.
I'm glad I could guinea pig it for you. And sometimes you don't realize what you're going through when you're going through a fire. If you can find a way to help somebody during that fire, like the Ozempic didn't work for me that well in a way that I didn't feel good, but it did work. I lost 15 pounds, but I just didn't feel. I did not like the experience. You powered through. We're like, oh, this is great, and which that tells us how different everybody is and
Right.
individual, and that's what's cool about it. You don't know until you try. Um, so, anyways, that the short take of that is like, don't ever underestimate a kind word, how it can affect somebody's life. Um, don't ever hold back your feelings from someone you care about. Let them know. Uh, do something nice for no reason, and just see what happens. It's fun to see. If you have a good experience in a restaurant, 100% tip. If you can do it, why not? Change somebody's perspective. Life doesn't have to be Groundhog Day. So
Sure.
thanks for joining in. Uh, thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for being here and listening to two dudes ramble on about our life's experiences. Um, we find our conversations interesting. Hope you do too. And we'll see you next time.
Later.